Right, first meal of the day, obviously breakfast. What I usually do is just make sort of the normal, bowl of porridge, 7 egg whites, 2 separate meals. But what I found is that takes quite a lot of time in the morning. And, the morning for me is always a massive rush because, I work full time, like a lot of other people. And, I need to get breakfast made and eaten out the door as quick as I can. So what I found is a lot less time consuming is just mix the egg whites, the porridge, a little bit of protein powder, mix it all together and make a pancake. I mean, it just takes less time, it's less to clean up, and to be honest with you, it tastes a lot better as well. A lot of people say first thing in the morning they haven't got enough time to make breakfast and they've got to get out of the house as soon as they. That's not an excuse, do you know what I mean? Just get up an hour earlier. I got to get up, especially now pre-contest, I've got to get up like an hour and a half earlier than I normally would, so I can, get my half an hour cardio in, make breakfast, eat it, clean everything up. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Through the night, your body's going into a catabolic state, which means, it's suffering muscle wastage. So you're actually getting smaller. The muscle has nothing to feed off. So, you need to get up in the morning, get a good breakfast in, get back into an anabolic state. So, there's no excuse. Get up in the morning, make breakfast. It is the most important meal of the day. Here we've got probably around 40 grams of protein with the egg whites and the protein powder. 100 grams of carbs. My biggest carb meal is always first thing in the morning because, like I said, through the night your body's going into a catabolic state, so I need to get up in the morning, get the glycogen back to the muscle. So, 100 grams of carbs in the morning, a few bananas, spoonful of peanut butter, just for a bit of taste, and a little bit of ground cinnamon. It really does taste good. I've got a video on my channel of how to make this recipe. It's not rocket science. If I can do it, anybody can do it, to be honest with you. So check that out. And that's
meal 2 is 150 grams of cottage cheese with pear and apple. You can get plain cottage cheese. I just don't like the taste. Well, the taste of it tastes revolting, to be honest. The pear and apple just gives it a little bit of flavour. Not a lot of people I know eat cottage cheese. I mean, I've asked a lot of people, do they eat it? And not a lot of people do. I know there's a lot of sugar in it. Like there's sort of 15 grams of sugar. But like I said, I'm off season now, so I'm not really worried about that. Natural peanut butter. Always go for natural peanut butter. Don't go for the the Sunpat or the cheap Asda or Tesco makes. Those things are just rammed with sugar. I mean, you'd be surprised how much sugar is in the cheaper brands. So always try and go for natural peanut butter. There's no sugar. All the ingredients should be basically is, peanuts and some sort of oil. That should be it. With that, I basically spread peanut butter on 4 or 5 rice cakes. 6 grams of carbs per rice cake comes to about 25 grams of carbs. Like I said, I don't really eat a lot of carbs. Again, this isn't really a pre-contest meal. Pre-contest, I'd probably substitute this for turkey and broccoli, or chicken and some asparagus or something like that. But as I'm off season now, I may as well treat myself. Diet starts next week, so make the most of it. That's meal 2. Meal 3, 2 chicken breasts, 60 grams of brown rice. 60 grams of brown rice, 60 grams of carbs that's a lot of carbs for me. I mean, I don't really eat a lot of carbs, but what I used to do was eat sort of 2 jack potatoes, which I found that it really bloated me. So I've switched to brown rice. It just sits a bit better in my stomach. So the chicken's got a little bit of seasoning on it. I've gone through the stage of eating just plain chicken breasts, and I basically can't do it no more. Seasoning I put seasoning on my food all the way through, my pre-contest diet, and it didn't really affect the way it looked on stage. So, like I say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, 2 chicken breasts, 60 grams of brown rice. That's meal 3. Meal 4, 1 tin of tuna in sunflower oil, and 1 large sweet potato. I know it doesn't look like a sweet potato, but what my girlfriend does is she mashes it up with a little bit of cinnamon, it's just easy to eat. I mean, mash the tuna and the potato together. It doesn't really look appetizing, but it's not too bad. 1 tin of tuna, that's 30 grams of protein. 1 large sweet potato, 40 grams of carbs. I mean, this is meal 4, so I'll probably eat this meal about sort of 5 o'clock, later on in the day, so I don't really want to be having a lot of carbs. So, 40, 50 grams, this is like before training, so yeah, that's plenty. Like I said, I don't really eat a lot of carbs. So, and the cinnamon and the sweet potato makes it taste a lot better as well. Dry sweet potato, again, baked potatoes. I've gone through that stage of eating them and I just can't do it anymore. I've got to have a bit of flavour on my food for me to be able to stomach it. So that's meal 4.
Number 5 is 10 to 12 ounces of steak and small sweet potato. I tend to go for the sirloin steak. It's just a leaner cut. Rump steak, fillet steak, they're all good sources of protein, but sirloin's probably just the leanest cut of protein you can get. And also it's one of the best natural food sources for creatine. I think there's like round about 1 pound of 1 pound of steak gives you like 2 grams of creatine. I know it's not a massive amount, but it's something. Steaks also, it's quite hard to digest in the stomach, so what I like to do is try and get it out of the way, like meal 5, just to make sure it's not sort of still digesting when I move on to my next meal. So meal 5 is 10 to 12 ounces of steak. That's probably 40 to 45 grams of protein. Small sweet potato. Like I said, it is a small sweet potato because it's a bit later on in the day, not too late, but probably 30 to 40 grams of carbs. So that's meal number 5. Right, meal 6. This is basically what I call my post-workout meal, depending on what time I'm training, but usually it would be like my meal about 30 minutes after the gym. So in the off season, this is the only meal which I basically eat whatever I want. I mean, I know it's not like a Big Mac and chips or something like that, but it's not really a pre-contest diet meal. The chicken's covered in sauce, some sort of sauce, I don't know what it is, but it probably tastes really good. Herb potatoes, whereas usually it would just be sort of brown rice, sweet potato, oatmeal. So 2 chicken breasts, that's 50 grams of protein. 5 small potatoes, again 50 to 60 grams of carbs, plus the broccoli. The last meal of the day, meal number 7. 7 egg whites, 2 yolks, basically just scrambled. I'm still using yolks as it is now, off season. Just a little bit of fat. Pre-contest, I'll usually just use the egg whites. Probably add another egg, 9 egg whites. Like I said, this is the last meal before I go to bed, so no carbs, just pure protein. There's only a few things you can eat before you go to bed. Either sort of scrambled egg, or another alternative is cottage cheese, because it's a slow release protein, casein protein, so it's gonna sustain through the night, stop muscles going into the catabolic state, and keep your body anabolic until the morning. So last meal of the day, 8 egg whites and 2 yolks. Meal number 8. I say meal, it's more like a sort of a supplement. I don't always do this, but sometimes what I do is I'll take a protein shake to bed with me, and I won't really set my alarm for a certain time, but I'm normally up through the night going to the toilet anyway, so especially pre-comp when I'm drinking so much water and I'm up through the night, peeing all night. So I'll take a shake to bed with me, shake it up before I go to bed, throw in a few almonds or cashew nuts, walnuts, any sort of nuts, shake it up and just knock that back. Again, just to stop the body going into a catabolic state, keep your body anabolic through the night, and stop your muscles sort of, I suppose, eating themselves, like I said, catabolic. It's just to keep the protein through your system through the night up until the morning, where obviously the next meal will be breakfast. So just another supplement to add into my meals through the night.